Hey guys, welcome back. Thanks for tuning back in. Guys, this video is going to be over forgiveness. So let's ask ourselves, what is forgiveness? Well, forgiveness is understanding the situation for what it is. You know, the way you're taking action because you're taking the steps to heal, right? To work within yourself to where you can get to a point to where you're not feeling animosity, you're not feeling hatred, you're not feeling angry, sorrowful. You know, all of those negative emotions are gone, right? And you can accept the situation for what it is, right? Whether they apologize or not. In this era that we find ourselves in, it's not just forgiveness anymore. It's for forgiveness oftentimes means forgiving and forgetting, right? It's not the true meaning of forgiveness in a sense. There's no work that's being done. There's just acceptance for whatever, you know. And I'm going to bring up that OnlyFans chick, you know, the one that made her millions off of OnlyFans and just suddenly turned Christian. You know, she saw the light. That's probably when the cameras were on, but you know, and people were so quick to forgive and forget, right? That you know, she came to Jesus and now, you know, she's a different person. Here's the funny thing about that though, is that did she give that money back? You know, she was talking about how terrible it was to extort the men that she did. But I didn't see her give that money back. I'm not saying she didn't, but I'm saying I haven't seen it. You know, and a lot of other people are pointing this out too. You see, here's the thing about forgiving and forgetting, right? When you forgive and forget, you don't hold someone accountable. That's not what you're doing, right? You may think that's what you're doing, but it's not. You see, when you forgive and forget, right, what you're doing, right, is you're lowering your self-respect and giving someone more room to walk on you, walk all over you. It's saying that I don't care enough about myself, right, to put my foot down, or to say, hey, you've been in the wrong, you need to fix it. And in some cases, I'm walking away. You know, that's just put very simply. You know, and for whatever reason, you know, people don't want to walk away from friends. People don't want to walk away from intimate relationships. People don't want to, especially intimate relationships. People don't want to walk away from family. You know, boys, I came across a comment this morning, and this guy's a bozo, man. This guy's a bozo. He's one of the people that forgives and forgets. You know. And you know, this is the problem with this mentality. You will get extorted. You will get used. You will get taken advantage of. Right? This is why I always push setting those boundaries, right? Holding people accountable. This is why I always say that. And some people just don't get it. I don't understand it. You know, I really don't. How even when I was in my blue pill mindset, right? If people wronged me, if relationships didn't work out, right? If people stole from me, I still set my boundaries at that. You know. Now, obviously, with women, it was a little bit of a different story, right? And that's something that I had to learn. It took me a little bit, but I did. But you can't live that way, man. It's going to destroy you. It will. So forgiving and forgetting, you should turn that shit off automatically, right? But when you forgive someone, right, you do the work within yourself, right? And you take action, whether it means walking away or not. Now, if someone happened to snap at you in the heat of the moment, they're stressed out, right? Obviously, that's not grounds for walking away. That's not grounds for taking such actions like that, right? However, the comment that was made this morning, right, was over my video of me walking away from my mother. It's one thing, right, that I mentioned someone snapping at you in the heat of the moment. It's another thing, right, when you throw your own son out of your home because of a disagreement, right, to fix your marriage. Now, I will say, again, that the offer to stay with my brother was there. However, when I called my brother and he started yelling at me, screaming at me, and telling me that I was the problem, why would I stay there? Right? And that's another thing too, is that a lot of people would just accept that situation for what a lot of people, it's not that they would accept it for what it really is, it's that they just accept the situation, right? And that's what forgiving and forgetting is that they just accept it. It's not that they accept the situation for what it is, but they just accept it. They just take it and they keep moving on, right? It frustrates me that especially men live this way, right? I wasn't doing that. No. Look, whatever you do has consequences, right? That OnlyFans chick I mentioned earlier, look, she has to bear that shame of her face, right? Getting hosed down all over the internet for the rest of her life, right? And when her children gets bullied in school because of her, that's something she's going to have to bear, right? Also, relationships. For a guy that respects himself, right? He's not going to be with a woman like that. Nope. So this shame, this guilt, right, is something that she's going to have to live with for the rest of her life. That's accountability, right? You can forgive someone for what they did, right? Again, because you did the work within yourself to be to accept the situation, right, and move on. But, right, accountability comes with consequences. That's the difference, boys. And I wasn't gonna just accept the situation. I've heard that same speech before, several times. My own mother tried to use that against me. That I should just forgive. Right. No. Go fuck yourself. Absolutely not. Now, I've moved on from the situation. I accept it for what it is. I understand the reasoning behind it, right? She's a woman. She wants to protect this relationship, right, with this man that she's with, right? Provide at least some kind of father figure for her daughter. I get it. But at the same time, consequences are consequences. I wish the best for them, right? I don't wish any ill will on them. I simply hope that they have a great life, but it's one that I will not be a part of. And sometimes consequences like these happen, right? For those who respect themselves, for those who know, right, the difference between forgiving and forgetting, right, and actual forgiveness with accountability. So you can't let people walk all over you, man. You know, there have been a few situations where I had a friend that I used to work with in construction, and you know, him and I would hang out quite a bit. You know, our thing was fishing. You know, we'd go fishing, and there were a couple times, you know, where I would message him, you know, like when we would go, and he wouldn't get the message, for whatever reason, right? That's disrespectful, man. It really is. You know, when you plan something with someone, right, and they don't come through with it, you know, and they don't give you a reason why, that's a problem, you know. And so, you know, I confronted him about it. I said, hey, look, man, like, you can't be doing this, dude. You know, we made plans, and here you are, you know, not following through with them, right? You agreed to it, I agreed to it, so, and you didn't give me a reasoning. So what the hell's going on, you know? Oh, my bad, man. I just got so busy and everything like that. I was like, I understand that, but you know, you can send a quick text message. That's not hard to do. You know, that's just making excuses. I said, hey, look, man, you know, I'm not keeping people around who, you know, disrespect my time. So next time you will do this, right? Okay, yeah, no problem, man. No problem, man. Yeah. All right, cool. It wasn't too much longer after that it happened again. I said, all right, cool, man. This is done. And that's what you have to do, boys. Right? There's no hatred in your heart at all. There's no negative emotion. There's nothing, right? Again, you understand that there's consequences to people's actions. Right? So that's really the only way you could live, man. That's the only way you could live. You have to defend yourself. You know, it's not just fighting, you know, it's not just learning how to box in the gym. It's not just learning how to throw punches, kicks. Look, it's mentally as well. And boys, your mentality is some of the most, the most important thing, right? If you're not healthy mentally, man, you're in for a rough life. You're in for a rough life. So, boys, do yourselves a favor, man, and learn the difference between forgiveness and forgiving and forgetting. Well, forgiveness and accountability versus forgiveness and forgetting. Right? Learn the difference. Right? It's good. It's going to lead you to a different life. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. You know, and some of these bozos, they don't get it. They don't. Right? And for those of you who actually want to understand and have watched this video all the way through, thank you. Right? The whole point of this channel is to come together and improve. Right? And look, I understand those who are coming in the comments to just berate, right? And just opinionate. You know, these are the kind of people that don't really want to have a conversation. I understand that, right? But the whole point of this channel, right, is to strike up conversation, right? To figure it out together. That's the whole point, right? Especially men, because men, you know, we're not taught at all. We're not taught this at all. You know, none of this is taught. Right. So unfortunately, we have to come together and either figure it out, right, ourselves, or we find a group of people, a group of men to figure it out together. And this is what this is. So I'll go ahead and recap and wrap it up. Forgiveness is understanding the situation, right? You taking action, right, by healing yourself. And then to where you're not feeling any animosity, any hatred, any negative emotions, right? Sorrow, anger. To forgive that person, right? And move on. Forgiveness and forgetting is just accepting your situation, right? Simply the fact that someone apologizes is enough for you, right? And that's a weak mindset. That is a weak man. Can't be that weak man, dude. You'll get run over. You'll get taken advantage of. And people will definitely extort you, right? That comes with anything, especially romantic relationships, or excuse me, intimate relationships. Jobs, family, friends, doesn't matter. There are people out there that will harm you, that will definitely extort you, right? Saw a situation like that on Bo Refik's channel, Legion of Men, where a kid was very, very lonely after, this girl that he was playing games with, and they ended up exposing himself on a video call, and they extorted him. There are people out there that will do that. There are some monsters out there, right? So you have to defend yourself, right? But you have to learn how to defend yourself. And this is one of those videos how you can do that. So appreciate you guys tuning in. That's pretty much where I'm going to wrap it up there. Guys, if this video helped you out at all, please like and subscribe. Guys, I want to get this message out to as many men as possible, right? Had I had this information beforehand, right, before my marriage, before all of this shit that really happened, my life would have been different. It would have been. I would have led a different life. So, I would have appreciated that information back then. So, I want to do that for you guys. Those of you who are just coming up, just graduating high school, or hell, even in 50s, 60s. I'm seeing guys that are putting in the comments that they're around that age too. Now, most of my viewers, right, are around 24 to 65, I think, and that's great. That's great. That's a huge proportion, right, of men. And by all means, guys, come on in. Come on in. I want to hear your stories. I want to hear, your background, where you come from. What do you want to do with your life, right? Because I want to lift you guys up. That's the whole point of this. So, that being said, boys, I'm a little bit over time here. So, I appreciate you guys tuning in. As always, thanks for watching. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other too. Okay. Especially in the comments, guys talking about their situation in the comments. Dude, reach out to them, man. Reach out to them, give them advice, stuff like that, man. Don't just scroll through the comments and just be like, oh, wow, that's fucked up, and just keep scrolling. No. Okay. Reach out. All right. Say something. So, appreciate you, boys. Talk to you soon.